Okay, good morning, everyone. This is General Finance for January 19th, 2026. We have Elected Chief Sherry Lynn Hill away, Greg, as well as Dean, although he's joined us online. They are away on council business. Oh, and Cynthia, sorry. And if we could do attendance roll call, we'll start in chambers with Amos.
Carrie Bombery.
Audrey Paulus Bomber.
Dale Bomberry.
Hazel Johnson.
Alba Thomas.
Elena Venevri, I've been elected your chairperson for today. And then online, we'll start with Dean.
Helen Miller.
Dean Hill.
Thank you both. And hopefully Leslie joins us soon. So, identification of media, I don't see any in the chambers. And then we'll move to number 3, which is changes, deletions, and adoption of the agenda. Dale will move on the agenda. Audrey will second. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, the agenda is carried as it's printed. And number 4 is the adoption of general finance minutes. These are from January 5th, 2026. Carrie will move on the minutes. And Audrey will second. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, minutes are carried. Number 5 on the agenda is delegations presentations, of which there are none. And number 6 would be a recommendation from community committee. So I'll just read that out while we have Michael Seth joining us. The recommendation reads, moved by Dale Bomberry, seconded by Carrie Bomberry, that the community committee recommends to the Six Nations of the Grand River 59th elected council, whereas the Six Nations of the Grand River Community Plan identifies planning process of enhanced fire stations, and whereas this process will develop an initial feasibility study that will identify the high-level costs, risks, options, and barriers to development of new fire station facilities, and therefore be it resolved that the Six Nations of the Grand River 59th elected council approves the Six Nations Fire and Emergency Services to proceed with the single source bid from KL Martin and Associates Corp. Based on the historical working relationship and knowledge of the industry for a total of $70,000 to conduct the initial feasibility study and draft floor plans for the station replacement, $55,000, and renovation, $15,000. Source of funds are from the reallocation that was approved in camera general finance. That's the first recommendation. So, okay, Carrie still moves on that. Or sorry, Dale still moves on that. Carrie still seconds. And Mike, do you want to speak to this recommendation?
Not really. It's pretty self-explanatory. We're just starting the early phases of determining what our station needs are going to be for the future and any future development with the main station down here, as we're starting to outgrow it already.
Okay, any questions from council? Hazel.
Mike, that station number 3 down beside it, I.L. Thomas, where are you going to replace that? Where's it going to be after you move from there?
That's going to be part of this project, is determining if there's property available or conversations with lands to see if there's any property that's purchasable. I know Dale and I have had a couple of conversations about it. So there are options. We're looking at that right now.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Seeing or hearing none? So we have a mover and a seconder. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, that motion is carried. Recommendation 6.2 is moved by Carrie and seconded by Dale that the Community Committee recommends to the Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council, whereas Six Nations Fire and Emergency Services has 3 frontline pumpers that require replacement in accordance with ISC policy and Insurance Bureau standards, and whereas Six Nations of the Grand River has $970,771 allocated from the sale of wildland fire trucks and current funding commitment of $2,300,000 for fire truck replacement, with an expected funding commitment to be received after review on January 24th, 2026. And whereas there is a 24-month build time required for the approval of the order of the trucks. So, therefore, be it resolved that Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council approve the order of the new trucks as recommended, and that the fire chief has authority to sign the letter of intent for dependable emergency vehicles for supply and delivery of 1 pumper apparatus in the amount of $1,699,345. Okay, Dale continues to move. Oh, sorry, that was Carrie and Dale. Any questions? Audrey?
Will that price be held for 2 years, Mike?
The prices that are been quoted to us, whenever we sign off, that's the price at the end of the build time.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing, hearing none. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none. Go ahead, Mike.
Just the understanding that the changes that were done for the recommendation, this is for 3 pumpers at individual costs at 1.699, not just 1. Yeah, we should amend that resolution. The total cost is just over $5 million. Yeah, for all 3. It's 1.7 per truck.
Okay. Pardon? Well, that's just not the resolution that we voted on, though.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to amend that.
Chair, I'll move that we amend the resolution to reflect that.
Okay. Audrey seconds.
Could I have a total on there too, please? For the 3 trucks of 5 million, whatever it adds up to.
Absolutely. Can you give us that total again, Mike, please? Is it just the 1.699 times 3? Can you speak into the, sorry.
It's too early in the morning. They're giving us a $10,000 reduction per truck for multiple vehicles as well. So it's the 1.699 times 3 minus 30,000.
$5.68. Tia's feverishly doing the math. So you have those numbers? Yeah. Okay. So, council, let's
Yes.
Sorry?
I call question, Chair.
Go ahead.
Call question.
Okay, we have the total, 5.68. Tia will put that in the resolution. Continuing with the same movers and seconders. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, that amended motion is carried. And we'll waive second reading on was there 6-3? Okay, so we'll waive second reading on 6-1 and 6-2. Dale moves. Dean seconds. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Be safe on the roads today.
Okay, that's 6. We'll move on to 7, which is loan renewal for White Pines Wellness Center. I see Jennifer making her way up. I'll read the recommendation while that's happening. Whereas the Six Nations of the Grand River previously approved a loan for the construction of the White Pines Wellness Center located at 1745 Chiefswood Road. Whereas the current loan matures on January 31st, 2026. Whereas the Six Nations of the Grand River elects to refinance the loan for a further term. Therefore be it resolved that the Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council approves to refinance the loan for the White Pines Wellness Center effective January 31st, 2026 with the Royal Bank of Canada at an amount not to exceed $910,000 based on an indicative interest rate of 3.84% as at January 12th, 2026 for a term of 3 years and an amortization period of 7 years. Is there a mover? Amos?
I'll move, Chair.
Amos is moving. Hazel is seconding. Questions? Dale?
Was there other options on different rates for a longer or term period or no?
Yes, there was. There was longer terms. So RBC came back and offered a 3-year with 7-year amortization at 3.84%, which is the recommendation today. They also offered a 5-year term with a 7-year amortization at 4.15%. And finally, they offered a 7-year term at the 7-year amortization for 4.41%.
Go ahead, Audrey.
When will it be totally paid off, Jennifer?
7 years.
In 7 years?
Yeah, the amortization takes it to the end of the period.
Wonderful. Now,
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none. So that's moved and seconded. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none. That motion is carried. Recommendation, this should read 7-2. On my agenda it says 6-2. And that's to waive second reading. Can I have a mover for that? Amos and Audrey. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none. That's carried. Number 8, ISK Comprehensive Funding Agreement, amendments number 185 and 186. Whereas Six Nations of the Grand River Elected Council has entered into a 5-year comprehensive funding agreement with Indigenous Services Canada that has been extended to March 31st, 2028. Whereas comprehensive funding agreement numbers 185 and 186 have been received for council approval and signatures. Therefore, be it resolved that Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council approve and sign the following comprehensive funding agreement amendment number 185 and 186 for fiscal year 2025-26 between His Majesty the King in right of Canada, as represented by the Minister of Indigenous Services and the Six Nations of the Grand River. Amendment includes additional funding for the following departments, programs, projects. Amendment number 185, Social Development, Home and Long-Term Care Assisted Living, $685,122. And Amendment 186, these are all Jordan's principal amendments, and that total is $14,969,164. Audrey will move. Amos will second. All in favor? Or sorry, any questions? Let's do that first. Any questions? No questions? Jennifer, did you have anything to add? No? Dale? Go ahead.
Just a comment back to 7, Jennifer. And I don't know if we need to have it in a motion in regards to where the source of funds is, or is that just existing, or like, I don't know if you wanted it in a motion or anything,
Yes,
for-
it's for item
for payment, that's all.
7,
For the source of it.
for what we just passed for the White Pines Wellness Center.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the source of funds is rent that's charged from the housing
Yeah.
department to health. So if it just wants to be noted on the meeting, I don't think it needs to go in the motion.
okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Dale. Any questions for number 8, the ISK amendments? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. And a waive second reading for 8-2, or 8-1. Amos and Audrey again, all in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. That takes us to what should be number 9. Thank you, Jennifer. And that is a motion to adjourn to in camera. Moved by Melba. Second by Hazel. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none. Thank you so much. Thank you, community, for tuning in. We'll see you next time.